What's up, everybody? Today I'm coming to you, fire signs, with an energy reading. This is going to be launched in February, but I just trust that when you see this reading that it is meant for you. It is coded with that frequency. And to get started, for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, I have already pulled 2 oracle cards for you. So the first one that you got is going to be the Karmic Relationships card. This card says Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. And the second card that we got is you've got the Love. This card is Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So really what this means here is that we all incarnate onto this planet with soul contracts to enter relationships at very specific times in our life to show us things about ourselves, to show other people things about themselves, and to really learn lessons. And there is some sort of relationship that you are in. Maybe it is a romantic relationship, maybe it's a relationship with a coworker, with your family members, but there's some sort of relationship that is really looking at you. It's really directing your energy in a way where you need to reevaluate and change your perspective about something. There's some sort of conflict within it. There's a lot of volatility. It's like this volcano eruption. You never know really what's going to happen here with this person, with this situation. Maybe you feel anxious and like you're on edge with them. And so it's really asking you, this card is really asking you to check in with yourself and see in which ways that you're able to redirect your energy to change your shift and focus and perspective about the problems that you have. It's also saying with this card here that you do have the love within you to look at this in a different way. There's a lot of codependency. There's a lot of boundaries that are set in place. Maybe somebody feels really codependent on the relationship here, but ultimately, like, what's happening here is that, you know, we have karmic relationships that are really meant for us to like learn something about ourselves in this life. And it's like sometimes it's not always like a great thing that we're having to like learn about. Like a lot of relationships that I have, the most like traumatic relationships and just like, you know, the most relationships that caused a lot of soul growth to me were the ones that were really tough and hard. And so just remind yourself of that when you're in these frequencies with other people, that you have the power within your mind and your thought space to really change, your perspective about the situation. It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom, regardless of whatever frequency these other people are giving you. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I have been in my fair share of conflicts with friends, family members, and especially coworkers, and it's really not easy. And maybe you feel like dependent on this job because it's your source of income, and so it's like, would you rather spend like your day feeling really miserable, I don't know, because of these like thought spaces that you're going in, or would you rather just like, I don't know, find a way to change your perspective about things instead of sitting in like a mind state that causes you to be anxious and brings in more of that like negative energy. You know, if this is a love situation, there's some serious boundaries that need to be upheld within yourself or with your partner. You know, codependency is a real thing and it can be very deprecating. You can start like losing your sense of self when you depend so much on somebody else, or when they depend so much on you. And if somebody truly loved you, they would understand the boundary that you are setting in the relationship, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be a way where, you know, we're fighting, screaming about it. It can be in a very peaceful way for you to you know, like set this boundary, really. So the cards that came out we have are the 7 of Cups, we have the 8 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups, which is really funny here. So the cups suit in the tarot represent emotions, actually, and they're really about like water sign energy, but this is for fire. So maybe it's unlike you right now where you're feeling like all the emotions of the world and other people like around you. and it's almost like not in your nature to go like too much into like the emotional side of things. Like people are always like, oh, how come it doesn't seem like you like really care that much or whatever? And it's like, you do, it's just that you choose to have a more fun and playful energy when it comes to certain things. But right now, things feel really intense with all of this cups energy. I'm just gonna like throw that out there. So it's funny because you have the 7 and the 8 of cups. So the 7 of cups is all about this daydreaming energy. You're looking around at different opportunities. Maybe you're starting to daydream about different people. If you're in a committed relationship, maybe if you're at work, you're all of a sudden like looking at other opportunities and trying to figure out a way to get out of this job because you're like so annoyed of all the conflict that's going on, even though it's a part of your karmic destiny to like be in this situation. You're over here like looking around like, oh my god, what do I do? But then you have the 8 of cups, and the 8 of cups is all about walking away. So spirit actually is advising you to like capitalize on whatever opportunity that you see. You know, maybe your karmic situation has done everything that it needed to for you in this lifetime and in this time in your life, you know? So like maybe it's time for you to just like simply walk away from that thing. You might actually find that you're going to be happier because you have the 9 of cups here, and the 9 of cups is all about happiness, success, feeling emotionally satisfied in your new situation, you know. And then you also have on the sidelines here the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles kind of is like, you know, pentacles in the tarot represent money, abundance, prosperity, and knights are actually people who are coming to deliver a message to the king and queens in the suit of the tarot here. So it's like, you know, spirit is kind of saying, especially if this is about like a career situation, for you to move into a new direction and that it's actually going to work out for you, but not to make any like hasty decisions like right away. Like really evaluate the options that you do have before you jump into something new, because if you jump into something new without fully thinking about like what it is that you want, you're going to continue to create more karmic baggage for yourself. And that's not what you want to do when you've already went through something that was like really intense. So I do think that this is really funny how you have like 7, 8, 9 here, like 7 of cups, 8 of cups, and then the 9 of cups. It's like almost this like you went through the steps that you needed to in order for you to feel like you're gonna get out of this. You are, because you do have the 9 of cups here. And this guy, he is sitting happy with these cups. He's like, yeah, I made it. I worked for this. I did it, you know. And the pentacle, you know, the 9 on the pentacle is here to deliver you this like abundant prosperity. And even if this isn't about a career situation, it's like once you walk away from something, so many more doors open. You close one door and like 2 more open up for you, especially when there's a lot of friction and chaos and conflict right before like you feel like you can leave a situation. That has happened to me so many times where I've been contemplating, daydreaming, wondering if this is something that I should do, and in this like uncertain energy, and the second I make the decision to leave, to walk away, to apply for that new job, the second I walk away from it, I end up getting the new opportunity. A new person comes into my life that was like so much better than the last person, you know? So it's like you need to clear out old energy for new stuff to be able to come in. That's really like how things work in the universe, you know? I think a lot of times people are like, think that things just like fall out of thin air, which like, yes, it can, but you also need to do the work in order to like get there too, you know? Like you can't just like expect this situation to end on its own. Like you gotta do that. Like you gotta apply for the job. You gotta, you know, leave the person if that's something that you really want to do. And if you're in a committed relationship and you're like, you know what, I don't want to necessarily leave them, then communicate, you know, communicate like the things that you need and walk away from different thought patterns and have your person like be able to hear you out and like what you need in order to function fully in a relationship, so that you guys are both satisfied, because then only good things are going to come for you guys too. Like you can't expect like a relationship to grow when there's like so much chaos and turmoil, but you're not really communicating exactly what you need and like putting up your boundary. Okay, so then the two other cards that come out, we're going to be the Six of Wands, and we also have the Knight of Cups here. So this is all about victory and success coming in. You see, they're all on top of a high horse right now. Everybody is heading to a new direction. We got everybody cheering us on here. This is about like a celebration of success and victory. Like, look at what we've gone through, and we are, you know, on our way to something greater. And the Knight of Cups is all about like a love message being presented to you, more emotional fulfillment being presented to you. So now you have the Knight of Pentacles and you have the Knight of Cups. So you have the abundance and stable energy, but then you also have the emotional side to it that is really like coming in as well. So this is kind of like a no-brainer, you know, to like really move towards a new direction that feels right for you. You know, I don't know if staying in these situations is really going to do you any more good things, you know. Like, I think you have the power within you to walk away, and the universe is waiting on the other side to present you with emotional fulfillment and satisfaction and stability, prosperity and abundance, everything that is grounded and tangible in this reality and earth, and everything that in your thought space can make you feel fulfilled, you know, in your thoughts and emotion space. So this is all that I have for you. Things are on the up and up. I may feel a little bit chaotic right now, but just know that you got this. And I wish you the very best. Peace out.